What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P. Here once again. The Motor City Cats are back at it. We came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. We got some things that we're going to get into today. You already know what it is, baby. We're going to be talking about the priorities. Prioritize. Respect my authority. Yes, the Detroit Lions are in, I guess you could call it, the thick of free agency. And I think the thick only lands for a couple of days. Or should I say last? Did I say lands or last? Let me know in the chat. I don't know what I said. We're going to get to the mock draft a little bit later. But yes, the Detroit Lions are in the thick of free agency. In the thick of it only lasts for a couple of days. All of the deals seem to be getting done earlier and earlier and earlier. As soon as the legal tampering period starts, it just seems like that's free agency. That's when that starts. And by the time Wednesday comes around, where it actually officially opens, it seems like all the meat is picked off of the bone and all you are left with is the scraps. One situation that did occur. Let me pop this chat out on right quick. What up, though, Will Murray? What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? Pop this chat out so I can see when y'all show up. So one thing that did occur while the Detroit Lions were involved in the legal tampering period was that one of maybe our biggest free agent left the Detroit Lions and joined the New England Patriots. Now, the reason that one Carlton Davis gave for leaving the Detroit Lions, after going on a podcast and giving all of the flowers in the world, he picked every flower in the world. He went to every flower shop and bought every flower and gave them, I should say, to Dan Campbell. After doing all of that, saying that he didn't think he would want to play for another head coach, he was out the door like a week later. And the reason that he said that he picked the New England Patriots was that the Patriots made him feel like a priority. Now, I don't know, in his mind, in his assessment, is feeling like a priority was getting the $20 million that he wanted. If it is because they gave you the money that you wanted and you feel that they felt you were a priority, then I don't know what else to say, because it is a business. I don't feel like that's a priority situation. I feel like you went to the highest bidder. I do not begrudge Carlton Davis for going to get his money. And then we replaced him immediately with DJ Reed. We gave DJ Reed immediately a 3-year deal worth $48 million, $16 million per. Okay, so Carlton Davis got the same 3-year deal. He's going to make an extra $12 million on that deal. Fine. Was the priority all about the money? Was the priority because they very quickly came to the deal? As I said, it was like as soon as it opened, the news was broken that Carlton Davis was leaving. So was that priority about the fact that they didn't beat around the bush? They just said, you want $20 million? Here you go, $20 million. Was that the priority? Or did you believe that Brad Holmes wasn't negotiating in good faith? I don't know. I guess we'll never know because we weren't in the room having the conversations with the agents and Brad Holmes and all these things. Even though I got them phone calls, between Brad Holmes and Andrew Berry, we don't know what was happening in those rooms. When you sign that quickly to another team and you say that team made you a priority and you got the contract that you wanted immediately, I feel like the priority was the money that they put in front of you. I know he loved the culture in Detroit. I know he loved Dan Campbell. As I said, he gave him all the flowers in the world. I know he loved the organization. I know he loved the people. I know he loved his teammates. I know he loved the city. All of these things. So I'm left to question whether or not the priority situation was just the money. So now we're looking at other things. We're looking at other moves that might be made, but we don't know if they'll be made. One, Zadarius Smith. Does Zadarius Smith also feel that he wasn't made a priority? I don't know how he was made a priority because the amount of money that he was going to make this year, I believe, was below market value for what he gave you. Make no mistake that when I usually talk about Zadarius Smith, I'm just talking about what he did with the Lions. He played 7 games. He gave you 4 sacks in his tenure in Detroit. That was only 7 games. If you go into the season with Zadarius Smith on a 1-year deal worth 11 to 12 million, he is not here to give you 7 games of production. He is here to give you 17 games of production plus the playoffs. So now when you look at Zadarius Smith's deal and say, well, when you look at the 7 games for the Lions, he had 4 sacks, and there was 1 game that he sat out because he didn't have a bye week, so they gave him the week off. But then when you look back at what he did the previous 8 weeks in Cleveland, he had 5 sacks. So 5 plus 4 is 9. You're paying him 11 to 12 million a year for 9 sacks. 9 sacks is a good number. There are people that you're paying 20 million a year that aren't getting 9 sacks. Let's do a quick thought exercise. Y'all ready for this? I just put in a question. The question was, how many sacks did Miles Crosby have in 2024? The answer was 7.5. In the entire season, Miles Crosby has 7.5 sacks. I'm not saying that Miles Crosby is not as good as Zadarius Smith or that Zadarius Smith is better than Max Crosby. But Max Crosby had the same amount of sacks that Aiden Hutchinson had when he played 5.5 games. Max Crosby played most of the season. I think he was injured like towards the end of the season. He may have missed the last 4 games or something with the ankle injury. He had the same amount of sacks as Aiden Hutchinson. All right. Let's see who else. You ready for this? Okay. Now, here's the next question. And this is a good one. See that? How many sacks did Myles Garrett have in 2024? 14. Okay. Now, 14 is a great number. Myles Garrett was dealing with double teams and everything. On the other side of Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith had 5 sacks and a half a season. By himself in Detroit with no Aiden Hutchinson, no Aleem McNeil, only DJ Reader. You have Josh Pascal on the other side. He was the man by himself. Nobody's checking for Josh Pascal. He had 4 sacks here. He had more sacks than Max Crosby, and Max Crosby is getting $35 million per year. Zadarius Smith was slated to make $12 million. Max Crosby had less sacks than Zadarius Smith, and Zadarius Smith is slated to make $12 million. Max Crosby makes $23 million more than that per year. Zadarius Smith had 5 less sacks than Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett makes $40 million per year. For 5 more sacks from Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns had to pay $28 million more dollars. If you do not bring back Zadarius Smith, I do not know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to think. But when we're looking at the production versus the money, Zadarius Smith on that contract was an absolute steal. Zadarius Smith is 33 years old. He's coming off of a 9-sack season. Trey Hendrickson is 31 years old. He's coming off of back-to-back 17.5-sack seasons. Trey Hendrickson wants upwards of $30 million a year. Zadarius Smith was going to give you just over half the production of a Trey Hendrickson for much less than half of the price. So when you put these things into perspective, does Brad Holmes just not prioritize free agents? I'm going to let you think about that. I'm going to get to the chat and the comments, and then I'm going to answer the question after that. All right. So let's say what up, though, to the people in the chat. What up, though, Will Murray? What up, though, Mr. Morale 313? What up, though, Just a Fan? Just a Fan says he loved the bag more, and who wouldn't? I'd not begrudging Carlton Davis at all. I just want to know what the priority being made to feel like a priority was based upon. Was it based upon merely the money, or was there something else? Were there negotiations, tactics, or whatever that he didn't like in Detroit? Did he feel like Detroit was trying to lowball him and was never going to really come to an agreement on a number that he he appreciated? I don't know. Was it just that the Patriots just came down and it's like, shut up and take my money? Okay. And that's why he felt like priority. I don't know. That's my question. Justin Fan says maybe Z will be resigned now. I hope he does. David Lyons, I did say Miles Crosby. My bad. I caught that. Justin Fan says Charles Omenihu. Really, there are people out there who are remaining, who I would love to see on the team. I would love to see them go get and Aziz Ojolari, Charles Omenihu from the Chiefs. You know, he'd be a fine replacement, and he's younger than Zadarius Smith. But ultimately, do something. Because if it's just Marcus Davenport over there, mm-mm. Miles Crosby is wild. What up, though, Phil? What up, though, Jay Cruising? Phil says, why didn't anyone pick Z up yet? I hope the reason is because he's coming back to Detroit. I hope. David Lyon says nobody want to pay him that $12 million. My question is why? Why don't, if you look at the money that these edge rushers are getting, how much do you think Aiden Hutchinson is going to get? 37, 38 million? Right? Because Myles Garrett makes 40, Max Crosby makes 35. I'm just saying, based off the production and the money, 12 million is cheap. Joey Bosa just got a deal worth up to 12.6 million. Now, that's the answer to that question. Joey Bosa got 12.6 million, up to 12.6 million. You see how many sacks he had? Yeah. Zadarius had that in Cleveland. He had 5 in Cleveland. So this is what I'm saying. Like, the amount of money that you would have had to pay Zadarius Smith this year is under market value. That's all I'm saying. I don't just got to make it make sense. Jay Cruiser says, remember, y'all, the seller is the preacher. The sheep are the buyers. That makes sense. Lions don't re-sign many one-year contracts. Do it. We're talking about value here. 9 sacks for $12 million is nothing. Nothing. Right? You're paying him peanuts. Joey Bosa had 5 sacks last year and he got up to 12.6 million. Let's see here. Hold on. I'm gonna get to all y'all stuff. Hold on. David Line says, as soon as he sees not getting 12 million, he will be ready to talk. But why risk it? Give him 12 million. Just give it to him. Just give it to him. 12.6 for 5 sacks. 40 for 14 sacks. 35 for 7.5 sacks. Give him 12 million. Don't risk it. Then the dude mess around and go to the freaking Bears or something, and they'll overpay. But I want Trey, not gonna lie. Shout out to the Wake Up Woodward crew. If any of y'all saw me this morning, I was on the Wake Up Woodward show. I did a segment with the boys over there. Shout out Flannel Sam, Kool-Aid, KG. Shout out JB Smooth. But I did say that Albert Breer has said that it's still not too late for the Detroit Lions to trade for Trey Hendrickson. Apparently, there's a bunch of teams that so I'm getting conflicting reports. Albert Breer says that the Cincinnati Bengals are willing to take a late second round pick. Diana Rossini is still saying that teams want to trade for Hendrickson, but the Bengals asking price is crazy, right? A late second round pick is not crazy. So there's a disconnect somewhere about how this is being reported and who is actually correct. We don't know, and we won't know until we see the trade go through. But if you trade for Trey Hendrickson again, if you're waiting to give Aiden Hutchinson his extension, that's fine. You don't even have to wait. You can give Aiden Hutchinson his extension now because it is an extension. Who can tell me? Any capologist in the chat, who can tell me what that means for his new money? When you extend someone, you add new money to their current deal. So who can tell me what that means? When he gets no offer, his stock is going to fall. Well, we got to hope he gets no offer. I believe Davis was promised a contract and Brad lowballed him. We paid DJ Reed $16 million. Carlton Davis was making $14 million last year. So I guess if you wanted 20 and someone offered you 16, that's lowballing, I guess. Carlton had said via referencing another player he wanted 19.2 million minimum, so he priced him out of the Lions' needs. If Z Smith got injured, I wouldn't want him back, bro. Holmes Depot, more saving, less doing. Holmes Depot. Let's see. There's a lot of chats in here. Make sure, hey, if y'all want to skip the line, as they say, go ahead and get your super chats in here, man. I can't read them all. Sig Argument says your negotiating tactics may be wrong. If Lions are honest brokers, they're letting Smith shop his value and will come back with an offer in order to get him back. You assume he left on good terms. No, what I'm saying is this. Don't let him hit the market. He was slated to make $12 million with his escalators. So give him the $12 million and move on. That's my point. Because if he comes back with an offer of $15 million, then what? Then you've lost him because you didn't even want to pay him that $12 million. You're definitely not going to pay him $15 million. That was my point. Don't let him leave the building. Restructure him. Tell him we're going to cancel this. We're going to rip up this contract because it ain't got nothing to do with us anyway. It was given to you by Cleveland. And we're going to give you what you would be getting with the bonuses. I mean, you can't bargain bin everyone. You can't look at Zadarius Smith and go, oh, you had 9 sacks. We'll give you $9 million. You know, the reason that he was ever going to make, he was going to make $4 million or something like that. The only reason he was ever going to make that was because of the structure of his contract. That's all. That wasn't his real number. That wasn't his real value. You're definitely not getting Zadarius Smith for $4 million a year. Roy Lopez was 4.75. Derek Barnes not Derek Barnes, sorry. Levi Onwuzurike up to 5.5. Marcus Davenport up to 4.75. Just give him his money. That's the point. Joseph Fan says, I bet Z resigns with Detroit. I 100% hope that he resigns with Detroit. Don't we call that ball drag swag? Well, see, I can't make any assumptions because I'm not in the room. So I'm speculating with my opinion as to how it should have been handled. Because I'm not in the room with the Detroit Lions, this is my opinion of how they should have handled it. I'm pretty sure him and his agent are fielding offers from other teams. And maybe what will happen is that he will come back on a lesser deal because he couldn't find the market value that he wanted. That's possible. This is what happened with Levi Onwuzurike. But the reason that happened with Levi Onwuzurike is because Levi Onwuzurike didn't have any production. So Levi Onwuzurike maybe wanted to be paid like one of the top defensive tackles in the league, but he had no production. Right? So he had to come back on an incentive-laden deal so that he could try to take another bite at the apple on another contract year because he signed a 1-year deal. So he's on a contract year. He's trying to prove it to other teams around the league and to the Detroit Lions that he deserves 15 to 20 million per. Cash Doll need to make sure he stay. Put it on him a little harder. Sick argument. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. The point was that when you have him under contract for that money, that means that you're controlling what he makes. You just didn't want to pay an extra 5-6 million next year, which would have been because of the void years, if he was on your team or not. So that's why they released him this year. If it's the number of years, that's fine. I would pay him personally the 2 years. Okay? You structure it in a way, you give him the 2 years that he wants, and if the production wanes at all or whatever, then you cut him. That way you've given him what he wanted. He wanted the 2-year deal. You gave it to him. You gave him enough guarantees, well, maybe 1.5 of the amount of, or maybe 75% of it is guaranteed or whatever. So then you can cut him in the second year if need be, if he's no longer productive or whatever, or you feel like he's losing a step or whatever. Play with the money. Yeah, I got you. I got that's my point. Once a player hits the open market, he's looking for that. He's looking for that 3 years, 42 million. But you had him at less than that. Right? That's my point. What you had him at was, if you wanted to give him a 3-year contract, it would have been 3 years, 36 million. I would have taken the hit to have $6 million in dead money, but to have him on a $12 million deal. Because basically, if you have him on a $12 million deal and you add that $6 million, that's $18 million, which is going to be Even if you rolled that over and you said we'll give you 18 million for 1 year, none of the people that I talked about made 18 million except for Joey Bosa, who was getting 12.6. No one that I showed you that any of the production that he had compared with made as low as 18 million. This is the point. Yeah, it was, they let him go because they didn't want to have the dead cap for next year, because everyone assumes that he wasn't going to be on the team next year. So they were going to owe 6 million whether he was on the team or not. And the only thing that I can't understand is why all of the pundits and the prognosticators that write for the major publications and things believe so wholeheartedly that my man wasn't going to be on the team next year. Okay, he's 35. Von Miller was 36 when he got cut. So if Big Z plays like Big Z played last year, this year, or next year, and then he plays like he did again 2 years from now, what's the issue? Keep him on the team. That's my whole point. Is Josh Pascal going to start? He better not be going to start. Start where? David Lyons says we all in this together. Yes, we are. That's true. My question about the release now is he could have done it much later and not changed our cap issues now until season starts. So I think Lions were being good in this at minimum. No, it became, all of this stuff became guaranteed on the third day of the league year. So they had to do it now. Mr. Morale 306 says the only thing Josh needs to start doing is packing. All right. Let me answer the question. Do the Detroit Lions prioritize free agents? Yes and no. Look no further than the DJ Reed signing. DJ Reed walked into the door not on a 1-year deal, not on a 2-year deal, but not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. Anyway, hate that guy. He walked in here on a 3-year deal, $16 million per year, $48 million deal. They prioritized him. Terrion Arnold is going to be an excellent corner in this league for sure, I believe, barring injury. When he came to the Detroit Lions as a rookie last season, he had very sticky coverage. As I've said before, and I'll continue saying, the reason that he got grabby and handsy is because he didn't trust his technique. The first thing that you do as a corner when you think you're about to get beat is grab. Unless you're Jeffrey Ohel Nokuda, who wasn't ever in phase enough to even grab anyone because he was garbage and trash at playing football on the NFL level. He might have done some things in college. I don't know. Because like I said, he never jumped off the tape for me. I didn't know who he was when we drafted him. Watch every Ohio No State and Michigan game. Didn't watch it this year because we were 20-point underdogs, and I couldn't bear watching that bullcrap. But anyway, you've shored up that position for the next 3 years. You've allowed Terrion Arnold to have the stability of a veteran that he can learn from. You also allow that same thing for Ennis Rakestraw. Now, Ennis Rakestraw, again, we do not know what he's going to do at the NFL level because we did not see him in games. You saw him in practice, you saw him some in training camp, and he definitely was a dog. But a lot of times people look great in practice and training camp, and then they go into the season and they do absolutely nothing. Just like Levi Onwuzurike. Levi Onwuzurike looked awesome in camp. And then when he gets to the season, yeah, he's got a lot of pressures. I think he had the most pressures of any of the defensive tackles that have been signed in free agency. But he only had 3 half sacks. So the Detroit Lions have lost Carlton Davis. They cut what's his name? Cam Sutton. They also gave Cam Sutton a 3-year deal. Right? 3 years, $11 million. They gave DJ Reed 3 years, $16 million per. But Carlton Davis says that he didn't feel prioritized. Zadarius Smith wasn't a free agent. He was traded for. Who are some other free agents that we've brought in? Do you think that they've been prioritized? I think they prioritize the free agents that they want to prioritize. I think if you come in on a 1-year deal, you are not a priority. Carlton Davis was also traded for. He was not a free agent. So Brad Holmes has shown the ability to prioritize free agents. And he does at times prioritize free agents. I don't think it is a prioritization problem. I think that it's the principalities. I think that Carlton Davis felt like he was worth more than what was offered. And he said, "You playing with my emotions, Smokey. It's principalities in this." That's what I believe. Right? So I believe that when the Detroit Lions were negotiation, I believe that when the Detroit Lions were negotiating with Carlton Davis and he saw their initial offer, he said, okay. And then he went to the New England Patriots. And he went to the New England Patriots because he felt like the Detroit Lions were singing him a particular song. Okay, that's what I believe that Carlton Davis felt that the Detroit Lions were doing in the negotiations. But as far as prioritizing free agents, yes, I think they do. I mean, DJ Reader came in. What did he get? A 2-year deal? Amik Robertson, 2-year deal. They'll give you the money, but will you be re-signed? Well, that's something that we have to wait and see. If you bring in a high-value free agent and then it's time for him to re-up with you, will the Detroit Lions bring back Amik Robertson? Will the Detroit Lions bring back a DJ Reader? You got to. DJ Reader has to be on the team as long as DJ Reed is. I'm sorry. It's just, it must be. It must be. All right. We prioritize Lopez over CD3. Lopez got a 1-year deal. And I do believe that Lopez was a priority signing meaning maybe not the player. And he is a good player, right? If you go back, you look at his stats, you look at his film, he is a good player. He just is not a household name, and he just wasn't a starter. He played in 16 games last season. He had 18 pressures from the nose. He had tackles for loss, he had sacks, he had quarterback hits. Like he's gotten in the backfield and been a nuisance. He's been stout against the run, and he's shown some pass rushing chops. So it is a good signing. He is a good player. He's just not a big splash name. But we did need that player or a player at that position because Aleem McNeil is not going to be ready to play week 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that Aleem McNeil is going to start the season on the PUP list. So here's my question. Do you want them to draft a defensive tackle round 1? Most people want them to draft an edge rusher or a Jihad Campbell. If you know what's good for you, you want them to draft Jihad Campbell. That's my question. DJ Reed is a horizontal trade for better money and more upside. They did what they had to do to replace the guy that they lost, and they did it very swiftly. And the reason they already knew they were going to lose Carlton Davis. That's how they got that deal done so quickly with DJ Reed. Will Murray says your beef with Okuda is legendary. What up, though, Tactical Sport? David Lyons says TA looking good in them workout videos. And I think he's going to continue. Look, all TA has to do, the game is going to slow down for him this year, and he has to get his head around. He doesn't really have to change much else. The game slowing down, trusting his technique. The game slowing down is not on him, really. That it's just he's got the experience. He knows what to look for. He's not overwhelmed. I think what you guys, and I could be wrong because I'm not a prophet. I don't know the future. But what I do believe is that AG set him up for so much success in his career because of all of the man coverage snaps that he played. Remember, Terrion Arnold played man coverage snaps at a rate higher than any other cornerback in the league. Not even Patrick Surtain, who was he the defensive player of the year, played as many man coverage snaps as Terrion Arnold. So that baptism by fire is going to set him up for success in the future, I believe. So because he has that game slowing down, trust the technique, get your head around. Get your head around means interceptions. Trusting the technique just means he'll continue to be in phase. He'll be able to get his head around and bat the ball down, pass breakups, interceptions, and also less penalties. So I think you guys will see a pretty significant jump from Terrion Arnold this next season. Will Lions re-sign Okuda asking for a friend? They better not. Carlton wanted too much money, nothing to debate. He wasn't worth $20 million to the Lions. I agree with that, knowing upcoming contract costs. I didn't particularly want to give him $20 million either. So if he found that $20 million in New England, more power to him. I don't begrudge him. D-Dub, salute. What up, though? What up, though? Salty pork chops. Tactical Spork says Lopez doesn't move the needle. I don't think he was a move the needle signing. I think he was a depth signing that was much needed. Would you rather them not have signed them and roll with Broderick Martin? I'm sure you wouldn't. He's the exact same body type and skill set of Aleem. It's a brilliant move. We don't need to waste money with Aleem coming back. I agree. I agree. And then you can get somebody young that you can shape and mold in the third, fourth round of the draft. You know, it's a deep class. It's going to be a lot of guys that you thought were going to go high that are going to fall. You know, Phil, Ramadan Mubarak to you, my buddy. Honor is important to good folks. And you put the Arabic in there. It was a good touch. Salty Pork Chop says, between Levi and Lopez, we will be covered until Aleem comes back. Draft an edge in the first, Mike Green, then get a TT in the second. Because I want Jihad Campbell in the first, I'm willing to take an edge in the second. I mean, you'll have Jared Ivey there. You'll have Landon Jackson there. You might have some surprise people there. All right. What happens, and this is something that the heavyweights talk about a lot. What happens if James Pierce falls to 28? What are y'all doing? We just signed a backup TE from the Jets. Hey, you never can have too much depth. Shout out to Tim Patrick. You know what I mean? The patch is back. No more of this Josh Reynolds talk. Will Josh Reynolds wind up as the Josh Reynolds turns? No. Thank you for your services, Josh Reynolds. Go find another team that you will inevitably, I can't even say the word, inevitably be cut from because you are a Jared Goff merchant. That's crazy. We had a guy we don't even want to play in the third round. Hashtag Broderick. Yeah. What did Tactical Sport call him? Project Pat Martin. Project Pat Martin. Who might we lose from our secondary guys soon? I mean, it depends on what the season holds. I know Amik is under contract for one more year. I would really love for Amik to be back. That backup TE we just got has 11 catches in 4 seasons. SMH. He's probably a special teams player. I don't think they got him for his backup tight end play. The Lions won't draft Pierce. Dude makes Jalen Carter look like a saint. Bro, see, this is the thing that I don't understand about. So James Pierce has attitude problems. Jalen Carter was involved in death and lied to the police about his role in the situation. That's worse. That's worse than having an attitude problem. You have a bad attitude. You feel you're entitled, whatever. That's pretty bad. Everybody was crapping on Rashee Rice for his situation, running away from the scene of an accident that caused no death. Jalen Carter denied like even being around. I don't know where they went. I left the bar and I went straight home, officer. So I think that's a lot worse. Do you think there's any chance we convert to a 3-4 defense with AG going and our edges being dicey? No. I don't think you want to convert to a new defensive scheme with a new defensive coordinator who has been mostly running the 4-3 scheme. He was running defenses in a few games last year, and he was dealing with the 4-3 scheme. Also, your personnel, our edges are dicey, right? It would be easier to go and get 2 edges in the first and second round than to switch your whole scheme up and then have to get different personnel. Yeah, so I don't think we would switch to 4-3 or 3-4. Kirby may be gone. I do not think. I don't think you no. And he was a draft Holmes guy. Okay? A guy that Brad Holmes personally scouted. Okay? Who he drafted him in the third round after he played 1 year of safety after converting from wide receiver in college. And then leads the league this year in his third season with 9 interceptions and has the stats of an Ed Reed. No. Kirby Joseph is not going anywhere. Speaking of Broderick Martin, we really need to get rid of him. Phil says blocker Branch is not going anywhere. No, I don't think he is either. Ragnow and Decker for Jalen Carter in a second. Yes. Wait, no. Ragnow, no. Decker, yes. No, I'm just saying that what Jalen Carter did is worse than anything James Pierce has done. Any needs on Rodrigo? I think he's on track in his rehab. I haven't heard anything about any setbacks. I would let Kirby walk before Branch. I would not let either of them walk. I don't think that you need to. You can't pay two safeties $20 million apiece. How many Brad Holmes draft picks have been gone? And remember, that $20 million that you're looking for is gonna be available in the salary cap pretty soon here, right? Because the salary cap keeps going up by $20 million plus a year. Yeah, I don't think you hear anything about him because it's nothing is bad. Like when people are, they tore their ACL or whatever and they have their surgery and they're rehabbing. That's it. I think they had put out a video, I think, a few weeks ago with Rodrigo like walking in the walker thing. So I don't know. I'm saying if we had to let one of them safeties go, you let Kirby go. Well, as Michael Jordan famously said, if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Former Jets tight end Kenny Yeboah signing with Lions 1 year deal. Yeah, we were just talking about him. Broderick Martin better show something this season. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. I'm with Tactical Sport. Please, Brad, no more project picks. Give me a project pick. A hood rat pick. No. If you know, use the hashtag. Does this signing mean Mitchell will be gone? Didn't James Mitchell already get cut, or did they bring him back to the practice squad? Had to find that 11 catch guy. I don't think he's here for offensive production. I think he's here for special teams. We'll see who has to, if anybody has to go. We'll see. We're in a new phase where we may have to let guys walk because we literally can't pay everyone. And again, we'll see who has to go. Laporta and Gibbs deals could be market sets too, plus JMO. We'll see. Yeah, Mitchell was on the practice squad. Somebody needs to make that song as a meme. Hashtag juvenile. Um, I was actually I went to high school in Atlanta, and yeah, when they were popping off, when Cash Money was popping off, I was down there. It was crazy. It was wild times. With Broderick highlights rolling. And what would those highlights be? Him eating Twinkies in the locker room or what? Because there's no actual highlights. Uh, all this cheapness is going to pay off when we have to sign guys. Let's hope. Him in a tracksuit. Why the hell, salty pork chops, would you tank for a wide receiver? I've never heard of anyone tanking for a wide receiver. Panay will have a new contract coming, etc. It never ends with salary growth. When guys are good, it's a good problem for sure. And the cap keeps growing. Dude, unless he's Calvin Johnson, no. We've got 2,000-yard receivers. We've got 2,000-yard running backs. No. I'm not tanking for a receiver. That's crazy. Generational talent at the quarterback position, completely different. Receiver position, no. No. It's not at all. Receivers don't win championships because they have to have a quarterback for you to throw them the ball. So if any change happens within the quarterback situation, then your receivers are null and void. It He doesn't do anything for your team. How many let me ask you guys a question. How many NFL franchises are one wide receiver away from winning a Super Bowl? Well, see, the Eagles had a reckoning after two Super Bowls in how many years? Then they won one of them. I'm sure we would love that kind of reckoning. I'm sure we would. We love all of our players in Detroit, but if we had to lose, insert player names here. No, the Niners didn't. They also didn't have a quarterback. And they also chose not wisely on Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, I know there's risk, but you risk it for a biscuit. No risk it, no biscuit. As Bruce Arians used to say, no risk it, no biscuit. So here's the question. Would you rather be a playoff team for the next 10 years and you always have an opportunity because you're in the playoffs so you could get to the Super Bowl, and then if you could get to the Super Bowl, you might win the Super Bowl, you might lose the Super Bowl, or someone said, I can guarantee you a Super Bowl, but you will be bad for the next 10 years. And then after 10 years, then you can start contending again. What would you rather see? What up, though, Lori King? Sausage gravy? I don't know nothing about that. I can't give you predictions on the final record. I gotta see the schedule first. That's closer to the end of the offseason. I'll give y'all my predictions later. I know who we're playing, but I don't know I don't know what's prime time. I don't, you know what I mean? So I got to see the schedule in front of me and then go through the schedule like that. Right? Also, we got to see the draft is not finished, the offseason is not finished, player acquisition is not done. Right? So if I give you a prediction right now, and let's say Green Bay shocks the world because the draft is in Green Bay, and Shador Sanders just falls to Green Bay, and they draft Shador Sanders, and they get rid of Jordan Love. I'm just saying they're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. But I'm just saying, you know, unpredictable things can happen. So until the offseason is finished, where they've gotten all the players they're going to get, then I can't just like the Vikings. We don't even know who their quarterback is going to be. We don't know if they're going with Aaron Rodgers. We don't know if they're going to make a trade for somebody. We don't know if they're going to go with JJ McCarthy. No, I'm not saying four shots. I'm saying you're guaranteed a Super Bowl win, but then you're guaranteed to be bad for the next 10 years. And then after the 10 years, you can be a contender again. What would you take? Does anyone want to bet me that Broncos move up for Ashton Genty way up? Ashton Genty is not Ricky Williams. I don't I don't know how far up they would have to move to get him, but I no. Taylor May, man. I didn't even say nothing. David Lyon says, I'll take the Super Bowl. Facts. Ashton Genty is going to the Bears. I think it's very possible. It's so on brand for Denver. Ben Johnson wants his Jameer Gibbs. What was Ashton Genty's 40 time? Did he run at the combine? He probably didn't. 4.42. That ain't Jameer Gibbs. That's not Jameer Gibbs. Just because he's a thinnish dude with dreads, that ain't Jameer Gibbs. Here's my question, right? What bowl game did they play in? Okay, here we go. Here we go. And this is my thing. Ashton Genty had all of those stats. Are y'all ready? Against who were you playing at Boise State? His first time to shine. In the college football playoff quarterfinals, Fiesta Bowl against Penn State, Ashton Genty rushed for 104 yards on 30 carries, averaging 3.5 yards per run, and did not score a touchdown, while also fumbling twice and losing one. Sick argument. Buries my father. I know all about it. Ashton Genty against actual competition, averaged 3.5 yards per carry with no touchdowns and 2 fumbles. If you're going to discount that and trade up for Genty, I feel sorry for you. Okay, so he had one good game against a good defensive team and a terrible game against another good defensive team. In the black and blue division, with the, let's say, in a healthy defensive line with the Lions, okay, we were what, top 3 rush defense when everybody was healthy. The Vikings, decentish against the run. The Packers, good against the run. In that division, what do you think his average output is going to be per game? Do you think it would be over 100 or under 100? Okay, we'll see if he's a generational running back. We will see. He'll be a top 10 rusher in the NFL. Who's your top 10 right now, and who's he taking out? Mr. Morale 313 says under. Oh, you actually knew Barry? Well, if you know him, tell him to come on the pod, man. Tell him to holler at your boy. Tell him to come meet his son. um, yeah, but jumping into the top, like nobody moved. We actually moved down and selected Gibbs. Like, when's the last time somebody moved up to get a running back? Number 26 is generational. Okay. I'm just saying. You know who else was close to breaking Barry Sanders' rushing record? College rushing record? Y'all got a name for me? Because I got the name. He actually played for the Detroit Lions. My top 5 running backs outside of Saquon. So we're gonna go Derrick Henry, Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's see. Do I want to put Jonathan Taylor in the top? All right, hold on. I gotta break this down. Hold on. Let me go through my mental Rolodex. We don't know. If CMC is healthy, yes. But he had like double Achilles tendonitis. What does they call it? Bilateral Achilles tendonitis last season. I think he's wearing down a bit. Um, I guess we would have to put Bijan up there. Hold on, let me go through. All right. So in our division, we have obviously Jahmyr Gibbs. We have um Josh Jacobs. We have Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift. So I wouldn't put any of those guys in the top 5 other than Jahmyr Gibbs. All right, let's go to the NFC East. We got Saquon, so we're not putting him in. You said outside of Saquon, Rico Dowdle, Brian Thomas, um, who is the other? The Commanders, the Eagles, the Cowboy, the Giants. The what is his name? Tracy? No. All right. So nobody from the NFC East if we can't use Saquon Barkley. All right. All right. Let's go to the NFC West. Kyron Williams, um, Kenneth Walker, um, CMC. But if CMC is healthy, I'll put him in there. And then James Conner, no. All right. So far I have Jameer Gibbs and CMC from the NFC. All right, let's look at the NFC South. As I said, we'll put Bijan up there. Um, who is the Saints running back? I don't even know who the Saints running back is. The Saints. We did the Falcons. Carolina. Don't know who their running back is. They just released Miles. Was it Miles Austin? Miles Sanders. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have Bucky Irving and Rashad White. All right, it is pretty hard to make a top 10. It's pretty hard. What up, though, Jessa fan? Kamara. Okay, yeah. Kamara is the Saints running back. All right, let's go to the AFC. We'll start with the AFC North. Did I hear that Joe Mixon got moved somewhere else? Did I hear this? Was this correct? So the Bengals have Chase Brown. The Steelers have Jalen Warren. The Ravens have Derrick Henry. Of course, he's in the top 5. So right now, my top 5 is what? Jameer Gibbs, CMC, Bijan, Derrick Henry. I might be moving some people out. Okay, Mixon is still in Houston. Okay. All right. So we got Derrick Henry, we got Jalen Warren, we've got Chase Brown, and who else? I always forget the 4th team. We got the Ravens, the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Browns. All right. Nick Chubb is no. Nick Chubb can't stay healthy. So I got 4. All right, let's go to the AFC East. The Jets, Brees Hall. I'm not gonna put him in my top 5. All right, so we got Brees Hall. We got James Cook. Did they not resign James Cook? Somebody said that the Bengals or the Bills did not resign James Cook. So the East, then you got the Dolphins, Raheem Mostert, and Devon Achane. Somebody said, I think I told you this before. Somebody told me that Devon Achane and Jameer Gibbs reminded him of Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith. Devon Achane is better, but Jameer Gibbs has a better O-line. All right, Devon Achane. And the Patriots have Ramondre Stevenson. No. All right, AFC West, you have Isaiah Pacheco, Amir Abdullah, pretty much on the Raiders. Now you have Najee Harris in Los Angeles. And Denver, you have, I can't remember his name. It's not Devontae Booker. I forget his name. Anyway, All right. Now moving down to the AFC South, Tennessee has Tony Pollard. Um, let's see. Houston has Joe Mixon. Jacksonville has Tank Bigsby and Trevor Etienne. The Colts have Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. So that's I guess I would put JT in the top 5. It's You're right. Ashton Genty definitely will be a top 10 running back when he comes in the league. Oh, Mostert went to Vegas. Yeah, he still doesn't move the needle for me. Um, yeah, I would. Yeah. So my top 5 is what? It's very impressive, right? That I know all the running backs on every team. Don't you think that's impressive? I told you I'm a former running back. I did forget Kamara. I just had a brain fart. I know Kamara. I just forgot him. So my top 5 now is looking like Gibbs, CMC. I'm gonna take CMC out because we don't know what he is going forward. And I'll put Kamara in. So Gibbs, Kamara. Uh, okay, wait. If I'm doing it in order, I'm gonna go Derrick Henry, Gibbs, Bijan, Kamara, and Jonathan Taylor. That's my top 5. No, running from and over cornerbacks, linebackers, safeties, defensive linemen. I didn't run over any defensive linemen. Uh, I ran from them. I broke ankles. I told you my nickname was Little Barry. I'm not lying to. I didn't give myself that nickname. I'm not like the guy in LA who gives himself nicknames and calls himself the greatest of all time. I did not give myself that nickname. My coaches gave me that nickname. He said runner from the cops as a T. I never ran from the cops. Didn't have to. So what do y'all think about that top 5? What are y'all top 5s? Give me your top 5s. As far as the mock draft, I did find something called Walk the Mock. However, that is everyone that wants to do a draft with other people will have to pay $5. You can get a $5 a month subscription. If you sign up just for the free one, then you do not have the ability to draft against other people. So if y'all want me to do a quick mock draft while on stream, I will do that. But you guys have to decide for the participation in the mock draft if you want to pay the $5 to walk the mock so that you can have a registration. I would say do it at the beginning of April so that we make sure that, we don't pay again. We do it at the beginning of April. We do as many as we want. And then by the end, we cancel our subscription so we don't have to keep paying that $5. Phil, your top 5 sounds very similar to another top 5 that I hold dearly to my heart.
Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Think about it. Dylon, and Dylon. Because I spit hot fire.
So, Phil, that sounds like your top 5 right there. Tactical Sport, top 5 running backs. Uh oh yeah, I gotta get that one. It's 100% Cambodian, y'all. Ah, okay. Y'all just put a bad image. I didn't listen to that garbage, but watching Easy's reaction, I thought that anyone that would be listening to that would probably throw up. Um, Watching Easy's reaction, you could tell that he was traumatized and scarred, and it's probably going to keep him up tonight. What do you mean? Female or human? What do you mean? The milk? Uh, the sugar cookie. Um, I do have that one. Is it in my quick hitters? No, it's not there. It's in this one. Here we go.
A sugar cookie, man. This is crazy.
Uh, yeah, it was 100% Cambodian breast milk. It's 100% Cambodian, y'all. I still have not. I mean, I need to write myself a note. Hold on. All right. All right. I'm gonna get that after the show. I'm gonna get that one. What sounded like Jimi Hendrix? Y'all not giving me a top. See, it's not that easy, is it? It's not that easy to come up with a top 5 running backs in the NFL when you look at the landscape of running backs. It's not like back in the old days when you had Barry Sanders and Bo Jackson and you could just rattle them off, you know? Yeah, top 5 now. Top 5, top 5, top 5, top 5. He said, now I have to start over. uh, is this it? Hold on, let me play it first. It just wants me to download the sound. Let me play it so I know it's just the right one. What up, though, Mr. Detroit City? Do I have that one then? Hold on. Cause I got the Charlie Murphy one. I don't know if it went all the way into the cold blooded one. Nah, that's a slap one. All right. I don't have that part. So I will send it to myself. And then I'll add it on. Said just left the gym. You already know, tuning into the fellas. That's what's up. See, tactical sport, I wasn't allowed to use Saquon. So I had to come up with a top 5 running backs without Saquon. So you got Gibbs, Barkley, Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Jacobs. Jacobs wasn't in mine. I don't know. Mr. Detroit City, what is your top 5 list of running backs in the NFL right now? My top 5 would be Gibbs, Barkley, Henry, CMC, and my man Robinson. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. All right. So I had to do a top 5 without the benefit of Saquon Barkley. So that was a hard one to do. All right, I guess I'll do a quick mock draft before I go. And all right, let me grab this. Well, that didn't save the way that I needed it to save. Hold on. Wow, that's crazy. It's an unknown file type. So I have it. I just don't have the whole one. I don't have the cold-blooded part. And then the one that I just got, it's not, I don't know. The file type is unknown, so I have to get the MP3 from somewhere else. Top 5 rappers of all time. For sure. We have that. We definitely have that. Can't find it, but I got it.
Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Think about it. Dylon, 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 and Dylon. Because I spit hot fire.
Jacobs has been solid for years, though. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up the mock draft. This, as I said, is Walk the Mock. Let me set up the view here. Walk the Mock. All right, put that there. And then drop my camera. Oh, what the heck? Where'd I go? Oh, crap. What happened? Okay, there we go. Oh, it flipped. That's what happened. Okay. All right. Here we go. Mock drafting on Friday. As I said, You guys have to decide. This is the only one that I have found that allows you to do drafts against others. That is not Pro Football Network, but also it's not free. So it is the $5 for the month. If you guys decide, hey, let's do that, then we can just do it at the beginning of April, where you just sign up, pay your $5, and then we have it for the entire month. And then at the end of the month of April, I for one would be canceling my subscription. I'm not gonna keep paying $5 throughout the year for this. All right, are we ready? Let us begin. I am the Detroit Lions. Gonna start that draft. All right. I'm on the clock. So we have Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr., Colson Loveland, Kenneth Grant, Jade Brown, Barron, Matthew Golden, Siobhan Ravel, Josh Connerly. You already know. I'm not gonna do it, okay? Because I always do it just to piss y'all off. I'm gonna go ahead and do it. James Pierce Jr., baby, you are a Detroit Lion. All right, I'm back on the clock. Let's see. Who shall I take? JT Tuamale, Alec Ayamanor, Quinshawn Judkins. Can confirm, not a real name, not a real human. Quinshawn Judkins. Alfred Collins, Elijah Arroyo, Xavier Watts, Marcus Imbo, Darius Alexander, Deion Walker, Harold Fannin Jr. Ooh, I hate to do this. I don't want to do this. I'm gonna go Alfred Collins. Yeah, I'm going Alfred Collins. All righty. All right. Detroit Lions are on the clock again. Let's see. What do we do? Kevin Winston Jr. is a free safety. Braden Swinson. All right. Let's go ahead and replace Huh. Yeah. I'm gonna grab Chris Paul Jr. I was gonna replace Iffy, but I'll give Coach Shep another piece. Ooh. I'm running to the podium for this one. Savion Jones. All right, what round is this? All right, at this point, what's this guy's measurements? Can't see any measurements. That's crazy. Hey, bro. Q Robinson is an edge out of Alabama. You already know what it is. We got to get one of them Alabama boys in here. We have the most edges in the history of edges. All right. Let's see. Meh, 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 meh. Tim Smith, defensive lineman out of Alabama. Let's get it. You know what I mean? This, hey. All right. Who else we got? Oh, like the weights and the heights are way down here. Okay. LeJohntay Worcester. I don't need another edge. I've got too many edges. Joshua Gray, 6'4", 310. Oregon State. Yeah, why not? Get our guard. All right. Great mock. All right, let's see the results here. Do I get a grade? All right, so pick number 1, I took James Pierce. Pick number 2, I took Alfred Collins, defensive lineman, Texas. Pick number 3, Chris Paul Jr., linebacker, Ole Miss. Pick number 4, Savion Jones, edge, LSU. Pick number 6, or round 6, Q Robinson, edge, Alabama. Round 7, Tim Smith, defensive lineman, Alabama. And round 7, Joshua Gray, interior offensive lineman, Oregon State. What do you guys give that draft? What are your grades for my draft? Let me know what you think in the chat. He said, I'll support you. I shouldn't, but heck yeah. I just didn't want to get Jihad, bro. I always pick Jihad. I pick Jihad so much. It's not even, it's predictable that I'm going to pick Jihad in the first round. Y'all already know. Too many edges. Well, listen. We don't have enough edges, so I just did the work for Brad Holmes. I said, you know what? I'm gonna show you how to draft an edge, Brad. You know, I'll teach you how to Dougie. Travis Hunter went to the Pats. That would be crazy. You got Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez, and Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter probably could play in the slot. I mean, he is super duper athletic. So, yeah, that would be crazy. Detroit fan man says, wait, isn't Pierce the guy they say doesn't accept coaching? If we blacklisted Jalen Carter, how could we take this churlish dude? I did it as a troll. All right. Let me do a real draft. All right, I'm gonna do a real draft, and then y'all can grade the real draft, right? Because I crashed out. I drafted too many edges. It seems like he doesn't know how to trade for or draft an edge that isn't the number 2 pick. Wasn't he a DT? I think he was. I think he was a DT. I mean, that might be the Jordan effect, right? Jordan wasn't able to pick guys that played his position, so. You said it looks like it's made out of rubber. All right. Let me do a real one. All right. Actually, Let me duplicate this one so that we can compare them. We can compare my my crash out and we can compare my real one. All right. See, here's the thing, real time draft with others. You are trying to select a draft mode exclusive to premium users. Why not become a premium user today and unlock special features? Upgrade now. So monthly is $5 a month. I mean, yearly is $30 a year. Uh, that's like $2.50 a month, $2.50 a month. If you're a real draft Nick, why not? You know what I'm saying? $30 for yeah, it says save 50%. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So y'all decide if you want to go ahead and do it. We'll all just get memberships to this site and then we can do our 1 through 32 there. Hopefully we would get 32 people. All right. Oops. Going back. All right. Should I do it with trades or just a vanilla draft? I just did a vanilla draft. So should I do it with trades or not? So the Titans are taking their D philosophy to run a Boston Marathon. Is that what it is? Oh, Joker. I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna do it with no trades. It works faster that way. All right, Detroit Lions. Let's go. Default ranking. To the draft room. All right, start the draft. Oh, snap. All right, Shamar Stewart is there. Dang, I kind of want to do trades now. Crap. You know what? I'm gonna start over. I'm doing trades because I'm gonna make a splash trade. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's hope this works. What I'm trying to do. What are we doing here? Huh? Okay. Start draft. All right. Oh, okay. I got what they're doing. All right. Okay. So I'm looking. See, they didn't even. They messed me up, bro. All right. So I'm gonna take Kenneth Grant. Now let's see. Let's see. Who's on the clock now? The Eagles are on the clock. The Browns are on the clock. What do the Browns need? The Giants are on the clock. No. The Titans are on the clock. Jags are on the clock. Dang it! Oh no. Okay. All right. All right. Let's offer a trade. I'm gonna offer you the second and the third. The trade was rejected. All right. I'm gonna offer you second, the third, and the 2026 fourth. Oh, okay. So they got the Dre. Okay, cool. Okay, that's too much. So what are we taking off? Nope, that's too little. All right. So if I offer a second, a third, and a 20, that's too much. That's too little. Dang, bro. I'm overpaying if I give them 2/3. You know what? Whatever. We got extra thirds. Bam. All right. Let's go. Jihad Campbell, you are a Detroit Lion. All right. I got my edge in the first. I got my defensive tackle in the first. I got my Jihad Campbell in the second. So now I gotta wait till I think it's the fourth round. Yeah, I gotta wait till the fourth to get my edge. All right. Oluwafemi Oladejo. I think I had. Is he good against the run but not the pass? I don't know, but he's in the fourth round. I might have to reach for a guy. No. All right. Let's take him. All right. All right. Now we're going to the sixth round. So let's see. What's a need? Cam Jackson is 6'6", 342. He would be a defensive tackle. But I did get Kenneth Grant. Garrett Dillinger, 6'5", 322. Yeah, let's take our guard there. And then we're going to skip to my last. Well, I think I got 2 7th round picks. All right. I'll double dip on my edge here. Or did I not even get an edge? I think I did get an edge, but I'll double dip right here. Oh, and we'll double dip on our defensive tackle, get our Tim Smith right here. Booyah. That's it. All right. These are the results. I got pick number 1, Kenneth Grant. I traded up in the second round to get Jihad Campbell at pick number 6. Pick in the fourth round, I got Olawufemi Oladejo, edge out of UCLA. They have Jihad Campbell listed as an edge. We know he's a linebacker. So I got Garrett Dillinger, interior offensive lineman out of LSU. You know, you get them SEC guards. Baron Sorrell, edge out of Texas, and Tim Smith, defensive tackle, Alabama. That is the mock draft. What is your grade on my mock draft? Can you trade Broderick Martin? You can trade it for a pack of already true bubblegum. They need Broderick Martin. They go trade it for a washing machine like Simi, bro. It said, whatever you do, don't trade with the Pats. I did it. Yeah, you couldn't see the first 10 spots. All right, what are y'all grades? Give me y'all letter grades. A, B, C, D, F. Let me blow that up for you in case it's too small. Tactical Sport gives me an A. Okay. I think I got the A off the strength of the first 2 picks. Kenneth Grant, Jihad Campbell. I don't think this is how it's going to go. I think Jihad Campbell is going to the first round, especially after his combine verified all of the tape. Yeah, I think he's going to the first round. Mm-hmm. I don't get no other grades. No other grades? All right. Well, I guess I just got the 1A. All right. So like I said, guys, let me know if we are gonna go in and pay the $5 to do the mock draft. Let me know if that's what y'all want to do. Y'all can take the weekend to think about it, and we'll see. Also, over the weekend, if you can find some others, then that would work as well. This is the only one that I was really able to find that was reliable. I found the ones that you're going to find pretty easily are the fantasy mock drafts. I haven't found any of the fantasy sites that have the current rookies. So if we could find one of those, then that would also be something that would work. He would have given you an A+ if you would have traded Broderick Martin. Well, you can't trade players in these simulators. Or we could just try to roll with the Pro Football Network one, but just understand that people are going to get kicked out, and I don't know, kind of mess up the draft. So it is what it is. All right, y'all. Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. And if anybody tells you not to keep your Lions news pragmatic, you just got to hit them with.
I'd like to welcome all you ignorant ass bitches, critics, complainers, disgruntled rappers, and racists especially, to the 9th annual International Player Haters Ball.
Hate, 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 hate. Yes, my picks are from major programs. I can't figure it out. Tactical Sport. We got to keep Broderick until we can actually trade him. All right. We are out of here, people. Peace.